What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Do me a big favor, guys. Get yourself down in that description box and check out them links, man. The good folks at Moo, first link, gonna give you up to $1,100 in cash reward and NVIDIA stock shares. Man, what a nice opportunity to get yourself up to $1,100 in NVIDIA stock shares and cash reward by signing up for a new brokerage account and making a deposit. Now, the Moo folks, I've been rocking with them since 2024 as one of my primary self-directed brokerage apps. And I'm happy with them. Now, that don't mean you'll be happy with them, but I'm just telling you I'm happy with them. It allows me to do fractional share trading. I can do a lot of research on different investments, whether it be ETFs, whether it be stocks. They just got a really good library of information about investing. Again, it's self-directed, so they don't give you financial advice, nor do I. I'm not a financial advisor. They are not a financial advisor, but they do provide you information where you can go out and do your own research and make your own investments. That's why it's self-directed brokerage app and not full service brokerage app. So I like that because I am a guy that can go out and do his own little research and make my own decisions. And it gives me an opportunity to get online and use a good self-directed brokerage app to be able to execute those positions that I get into. I did that this morning and it worked out great. Again, don't mean it'll work out great for you, but if you want to try them out, first link down in the description box. And if you make qualifying deposits, they're gonna give you some cash reward and NVIDIA stock shares. $1,000 deposit in your initial deposit for your new Moo brokerage account. They're gonna give you $120 in cash reward. If you decide, hey man, I like this brokerage app and I want to make additional deposits. Now it has to be within a certain time frame, but if you make additional deposits, they're going to give you up to $1,000 in NVIDIA stock shares. If you don't know who NVIDIA is, guys, I would recommend you go out and do some research online. Based on my research, and again, First Amendment right, constitutional right, freedom of speech, personal opinion. When I've done my research, my personal opinion is it's a monster company. Almost a $5 trillion market cap. No other company in the world has done that. No other company in history of companies have done a $5 trillion market cap other than NVIDIA. Now, that doesn't mean you need to go do anything with that company. I'm just telling you, these are the stock shares that they're going to give you if you make qualifying deposits. So if you're interested in that, guys, like I said, hey, you don't have to do anything. But if you're interested in it, primarily getting a good self-directed brokerage app. Again, my opinion, constitutional right, First Amendment, freedom of speech, that's my opinion. You have to go out and check them out and make your opinion. But if you decide to do that, you got some goodies. Number 2, Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon. Now that's my community I started in 2024 for like-minded people. What do I mean by like-minded people? People that want to get to financial freedom and passive income. We are like-minded. We want that because we know if we can get to financial freedom and then ultimately passive income, we can get ourselves off the hamster wheel of life, of working. We can get ourselves get ourselves out of that rat race that we got to get up every morning and go give somebody 8, 10, 12 hours a day of our time. And then we come home and we're tired, we're exhausted, we can't even enjoy life because we're working. If you don't want to work for the rest of your life and you want the ability to try to get yourself some net worth, then you need to get around like-minded people so that y'all can share ideas and best practices, golden nuggets, tips, what's working, what's not working. And that's what we do in the Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon. So if you want to be a part of that, just click on that second link. It'll take you over to Patreon, sign up and come join us. Last thing I want to plug is my website, www.richardfain.net. That's one of the links down in the description box as well. If you're looking for some digital products that can help collapse time frames and get you off to a good start in 2026, you may want to check it out. I got everything from how to invest in real estate with little to no money down, to credit repair, which is a self-study. It gives you step-by-step some things you can do to help get yourself back together and on the right track when it comes to your credit, because obviously credit is extremely important, especially if we're somebody that wants to buy real estate for income and we got to borrow money to do it. For somebody that wants to start a small business and you got to go borrow money to start that small business, ain't no lender going to give you no money, guys, if you got jacked up credit. I'm just letting you know that. They're not. I was in the banking business for 25 years. I was a commercial lender. No lender, no mainstream lender, no bank is going to give you money if you done jacked up your credit. So prepare, get yourself ready, and you do that through what? Get your credit right. And I'm not saying you need to go out and hire some dude to do it for you. What I'm saying is you can go to my website and I have an ebook. I got a digital product there that can kind of give you step-by-step what you need to do so you can do it on your own. The reason I love doing it on my own, and I've done this, guys, when I was 26 years old, I had jacked up credit, below 600. My credit score was below 600, and I did it myself. I just went on, got me some resources, read up on it. Back that time, you didn't really have the internet. So I just went and got some resources from the local library, and I just read up on what things that I could do. I picked up the phone and I called TransUnion, Equifax, and who was the other one? TransUnion, Equifax, and who was the other one? Experian. I called those three and said, hey man, they said, okay, we're gonna send you out some dispute letters in the mail. And when you get them dispute letters, anything you see on there that ain't yours or you don't believe is yours, dispute it and mail them back to us. See, that was the old days. You ain't got to do that now. You go right online and pull up Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, and do your little disputes. But you got to learn how to do that, and that's what that ebook will do. It will help you with those steps to do it yourself. The reason I also like do it yourself is because I learned something, and I don't create the same mistake. When I go out and hit the easy button and somebody do something online for me and I don't do it for myself, I hit the easy button, guess what I do? I make the same mistake again. See, you got to learn if you want to change old bad behaviors, guys. So get out to the website and check out. Listen, oh, Richard, I can't manage my money right. I don't know how to create a budget. Good news for you. Go to the website. I got a money management tool on there that can walk you through step by step. It provides you with the information, the material, and a workbook so you can track things. Again, guys, you got to do things in order to learn. See, you got to do in order to learn. You can't just sit back and want somebody else to do it for you for the rest of your life, or you ain't going to learn nothing. And this is how you get taken advantage of when you don't go out and do your own research and do stuff for yourself. Figure it out. The website will help you do that, so go check it out. www.richardfain.net. All right, let's get into these meat and potatoes. WTF? What's happening in America, guys? Every day I turn on my phone. Guess what I'm hearing? How great everything is. Every single day, this is all I hear, especially if you go to corporate news. Do not even go to corporate news, because the only thing you're going to hear on corporate news every day is how great everything is. But yet and still, when you go do a little bit of research, remember back to that research thing I keep telling y'all about? Stop listening to these people and go do some research, some real research. See, but when I go do the real research, it tells a different story of what's happening in America. I often tell you guys, you got two economies. You got two economies. You got a booming economy up here, and then you got a bust economy down here. You got two economies. So when you hear these people, these one percenters, these people from the current administration, and again, guys, I don't care if it was a Democratic administration, they're going to tell you the same thing. See, a lot of us think, oh, the Republicans, listen, the Republicans ain't no different than the Democrats. Here's the main, okay, let me back up. There is a difference, but their agenda is the same agenda, 1%. I don't care if you're Republicans or Democrat, they are beholden to the 1%. But here's the difference between the two right now. See, with Democrats, they're going to be beholden to the one percenters as well, but they want to hide it. They'll try to not, they're not going to just come right out and tell you that. They're just not going to fleece you right in front of your face. Republicans, they're just going to fleece you right in front of your face. They're gonna sit up here and tell you how great everything is, but when you go look, you ain't even got to look far. They're enriching themselves. Even the people in the administration. At the highest level of the administration, right in broad daylight, they're fleecing you. Sending you emails every day, telling you how much they love you and they need you. And then when you hit the button, they ask you for money. I'm telling you, man, you can't make this stuff up. If you don't believe me, go out there and check. If you think I'm lying, go out there. There are emails being sent to people that it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The 1%, they run both parties. They run both parties. One party is just more bold and out there and don't care. They just fleece your, sweetheart deals in broad daylight because they just don't care. They don't care because there's nothing you can do right now. See, you guys put these people in office. You elected them. The American people elected these people. Now you got to pay the price. Now you will feel the pain. The pain is here because this is what you elected. Now you got to take the pain. Or at least you might have to take the pain. You may not. But you got to change some things or you will take the full brunt of the pain that these people are going to give you all over the next 3 years. Pain. I'm talking about pain. I'm going to run through the numbers with you. Yeah, I'm going to get to the numbers. It's painful. But yet and still, every day they're going to come out and tell you how great it is. But you got to take control of that. You got to take this. You got to take what you got because y'all put these people in office, right? American people voted. What y'all getting right now, y'all voted for. So all you can do now, since you voted for it, this is 3-card Monteed you. See, they 3-card Monteed you guys. Some of y'all got 3-card Monteed. You ever went somewhere, you're walking down the street and a guy on the side with a little table and he got the cards on there and he said, hey man, come check out this, you can win. And he got the 3 cards and he got a little acorn under one of the cards and he move them all around and pick. That's 3-card Monte. Because it's not under any of the cards. It's in his hand. It's palmed in his hand. And when he moves one of the cards after you pick, he just move it and drop it somewhere else on another card. That's 3-card Monte. That's what they pulled on y'all. Now, this current administration pulled that on a lot of people. See, a lot of people thought they were going to get low prices and this and that. They ain't getting any of that. Now, some people got it, which is the 1%. They're getting exactly what they signed on for. Y'all ain't getting what y'all signed on for. See, y'all went out there and voted for these people, but these people really didn't have your best interest at heart. The best interest at heart was the 1% who actually funded their campaigns to the tune of hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. He who has the most money in a lot of cases wins because they get to blitz the market with propaganda and go around and speak to people every day, and people start believing stuff that they hear because why? The American people want hope. Under the Biden administration, a lot of people was disenfranchised. See, under the Biden administration, although Biden did a few good things, you still had inflation at 9% in 2022. You still had a S&P 500 in 2022 that went negative 20%. So a lot of people lost retirements and all kind of stuff. I'm not blaming President Biden for that, just like I'm not blaming Trump for anything. I'm just telling you the 1% control both parties, guys. Now, we can get on each side of it and try to blame the other one, but really it's the 1% that orchestrate all this thing. And once you learn that and understand that, the light bulb will come on. Now, y'all elected President Trump, so you got to live with him for these next 4 years. You guys elected him. So whatever he's doing right now, see, I don't blame Trump. I don't blame Trump because Trump been Trump for years. Trump was Trump in his first administration when he pulled a lot of shenanigans. But Trump learned from the first administration. See, in his first administration, He had career politicians around him. See, that's who he had about. He had qualified people who was not afraid to tell him he was wrong. See, that's what he had in 1.0. He learned from that, though. So in 2.0, he didn't get none of those people. He got all people that he knew would bend the knee and kiss the ring. Unqualified people, but they are loyal to him. That's all he cared about. See, he learned. Problem is, you didn't learn. So if you were not happy with President Trump, guess what? You would have known who he was in 1.0. He told you exactly who he was, but he came back 8 years later in 2.0, told y'all the same thing what he was going to do. He told you exactly what he was going to do. Go back and look at his speeches in 2024. So I can't sit here and blame Trump because Trump told y'all exactly what he was going to do during the campaign. He told y'all what he was going to do. Y'all voted for him anyways. Why you voted? I don't know. You got to answer that question. But at the end of the day, you got to live with what you voted for these next 3 years. And you're going to feel pain. Because the 1% run all of this stuff. So here are the numbers. Let's look at some numbers. Here's the numbers. Here's where we're really at. So you can go on cable news and listen to whatever you want to listen to, but the numbers don't lie. Here are the numbers. As of late 2025, total U.S. consumer debt is around $18.6 trillion with a T, with significant chunks being mortgages around 13 trillion and growing credit card and auto loan debt. You notice they said growing credit card and auto loan debt, which is probably the worst debt you can have. I ain't got no problem with mortgage loan debt if you're living in the property or it's a rental property. Mortgage loan debt in many cases is not bad debt if it's used properly to facilitate building assets. But credit card debt and auto loan debt are not going to build you any wealth, and it's not going to build any assets. What it's going to do is build you a bunch of liabilities. And that's what's growing at a rapid pace. But we got the greatest country in the world. Everything's great. Inflation is gone. We got $18-20 trillion in investment. But yet and still, we still got $18 trillion in debt. Highest level it's ever been in the history of the United States. That's the lie. But really not a lie, because really who they're talking about, when you hear these people talking about how great everything is, they're talking about the top 10% of people in this country. Everything's great. The bottom 90%, nothing's great. But they're not talking about y'all because they don't really care about y'all. No administration, guys. I don't care who y'all think. Listen, man, I don't care who in the White House. At the end of the day, the 1% run this country. And everybody that's been in that White House, in that Oval Office, sitting in that chair, it has bent the knee to the 1%. All of them. And I'm a huge fan of President Obama. And he did a lot of great things, but he bent the knee too. Bush bent the knee. Biden bent the knee. Trump gonna bend the knee. All of them gotta bend the knee because the 1% run this country, guys. Here's what you gotta do, in my opinion. Again, no financial advice, not an expert, just a guy here giving you his personal opinion. First Amendment right, constitutional right, freedom of speech. Last time I checked, that was still a thing. The Constitution was still a thing the last time I checked. I don't know in the next 4 years if it'll be a thing, but right now I think it's still a thing. I think we still have some rights through our Constitution. One of them is freedom of speech, and that's what I'm providing you with here today. You got a choice to make. You can sit up here and argue about what's going on politically. You can go ahead and argue about that and not prepare yourself and not try to get yourself out of this $18 trillion in debt, which about $6 trillion of it is credit card debt, auto loan debt, personal loan debt, student loan debt. About $6 trillion of it is that. The other 13 trillion is mortgage debt. Now, where the mortgage debt comes into play is that some of y'all done went out there and bought houses that's more than you can afford. See, here's a rule of thumb, guys. Only about 28% of your gross monthly income should be spent on your mortgage or your rent. You do the math. Problem is, in this country, it's higher than that. Most people are spending somewhere between 35 and 45% of their take-home income, not gross, but take-home income on mortgage or rent. But this is the greatest country in the world, though. You got people out here that can't even buy the basic things they need to live. Go to your local food bank in your hometown if you think of mine. Just take some time out and go to your local food bank. Go volunteer there. If you're not feeling that pain yet, go volunteer at one of your local food banks. Go volunteer somewhere like a Salvation Army or one of these places that take in people who are done hit hard times. Go visit some of those places. They're filled to capacity. See, if you don't take control of your own financial destiny, nobody else. No. Let me rephrase that. If you don't take control of your own financial destiny, someone else will. And that someone else is the 1%. Their whole goal here is to keep you dependent on the system. Social Security, other social service programs. And again, guys, I'm not saying those are not important factors. They are important, but here's the key. I personally don't want to have to depend on that. If the Social Security is there when I turn 62, perfect, wonderful. I paid into the system for 30 years. I should get something back. So I'm not gonna not take it. I'm gonna take it. Why? Because I paid into the system. I worked for 25 years. I paid a lot of money into the Social Security system. Why wouldn't I take my fair share? If it's still there, I'll take it. But I don't want to have to depend on it is what I'm saying. So I got to do something now to put myself in a position where I don't have to depend on the government or Social Security, all this other stuff. That's me personally. I don't want to depend on that. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to get everything that's coming to me because I've been a good American. I paid my taxes and I've done everything right when it comes to trying to help my country be a great country. I've done that. And I still think we got the greatest country in the world. I support our legal system. I support our legislative branch. I support all of those sacred things we have in place. What I don't support is all the people inside of them. I support the structure. I support the Constitution of this great country. I support the people of this great country. But that doesn't mean I got to support some Democrat or some Republican or one of these cats running around here just enriching themselves. And both sides do it. It ain't just one side. Both of them do it. Both of them do it. All of them are taking money from places they shouldn't be taking it. Both sides. That's my opinion now. You don't have to agree with me. See, that's the thing about me. I don't get hung up on Democrat or Republican. I don't get hung up on that because I understand inherently people are good. Most people are good, but there's also good and evil in this world, good and evil. So I understand there's a lot of good people, but there's a lot of evil people too. My job is to protect myself and protect my family through building wealth and wealth creation so that I have a level of independence from all of that. Whoever pays you controls you. Whoever pays you controls you. So pay yourself so you can control you. Pay yourself. But you'll never get to that point unless you build wealth. Here we go. Credit card debt. Average balances are growing, with millennials and Gen X showing higher credit card debt than older generations, while overall average bank card balances surpassed $1 trillion in May of 2025. So basically what they're telling you younger folk, y'all are up to your eyeballs in credit card debt. Some of you older folks, like your baby boomers, are in better shape. But you young folks, some of you younger ones, and I don't know what this millennial and Gen X, I'd assume that's younger people. I don't get in all of that. Who knows? But what they're telling you there is the credit card debt for you younger folks is it's going up. It's going up the elevator. Up. So try to get yourself under control. You got to figure out how to get yourself out of this credit card debt. Now, this is a time of the year where people really go crazy with the credit card debt. Why? Because they ain't got no savings. So they can't go buy gifts and things like that with savings because the average American don't even have $1,000 in savings for an emergency. Don't have it. So what do? They go to the credit cards. They got this new thing out right now that they call buy now, pay later. Yeah, you just go online, buy all kind of crap and pay later. Problem is when time for the later, when the pay later part kicks in, people ain't got no money. You don't believe me? Go out there online and research it yourself, guys. Research it yourself. Who owes what? Talking about credit card debt, averaged by generation. So Gen Z, average credit card debt for people Gen Z is around $3,493. Average credit card debt for millennials is around $7,000. Average credit card debt for Gen X, $9,600. Average credit card debt for baby boomers, $6,800. So Gen X has the highest level of credit card debt right now on average. Crazy, crazy numbers, right? Credit card total balances topped $1.23 trillion in Q3 2025, with rising balances, especially in younger adults. Guess what? That's crazy, right? That's crazy. I just thank God for myself that I've got myself in a position where I don't have any credit card debt. I do got mortgage debt. But I don't have no credit card debt. I ain't got no student loan debts. I ain't got no tote the loan debts. I ain't got no payday loan debts. I've learned a long time ago to keep myself out of that. And the only way I keep myself out of that is I got to have my financial house in order. So I got to learn how to live on less than what I make. I got to learn how to live on a plan, personal budget, save and invest. See, those three things I got to learn how to do. And I got to work real hard to not make somebody else wealthy by going during the holiday season and putting all this crap on my credit cards or this buy now, pay later crap. See, that's all a trap, guys. I keep telling y'all, credit cards, this whole notion of, okay, I'm going to send you something today and you can pay me 2 months from now. I'm going to send you something today and you can pay me in installments over the next 6 months. That's all a trap. See, here's the thing that the 1% understand. Everything works because they can fool you and trap you and trick you to buy their crap. If you don't buy their crap, they're in trouble. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to make it easier to buy your crap. Why do y'all think in this country when somebody files bankruptcy, within 2 to 3 years, they're right back into business again to go out and get leveraged up again? Why do you think they keep letting people who actually default on loans borrow more money again? That's the whole system. The whole system is debt. See, this whole system in America only works if there's debt in the equation. If people had no debt, the financial system would crumble in this country. And they know that. So that's why they forgive you when you make bad decisions on loans and you default on loans and you don't pay your bills. A couple years, they put you in credit card jail for a couple of years and then they let you out. And then you run it up again because you don't learn nothing. See, and they know that. They don't want you to learn nothing. They want you to be in credit card debt and debt for the rest of your life. That's the only way this system works. If you got smart and stayed out of credit card debt, if you got smart and went and bought your car cash, the whole system crumbles. How do you think I know that? Think about this. I gave you the numbers on consumer debt for Americans. Check out the total debt for your country. What I told y'all a couple videos ago, attitude reflects leadership. If you see somebody with a raggedy attitude, go find their leader. Go find a leader, because attitude reflects leadership in every aspect of life. You think I'm lying? Here's your country. Here's your country's leadership around debt. If you think I'm lying, let me read your country's leadership around debt. Here we go. As of December 23rd, 2025, the total U.S. national debt is approximately $38.38 trillion. Highest it's ever been in the history of America. If you want to find out why Americans got $18 trillion in consumer debt, you ain't got to look very far. Just go to the national debt for your country. It leads the world. There ain't nobody in the world even close to this when it comes to debt, what America owes other people. This is what America, your government, your country owes the world, including you. $38 trillion with a T. There ain't no other country on this planet even close to that, not even China. See? Attitude reflects leadership. Not only are you in credit card debt, not only are you in auto loan debt, not only are you in personal loan debt, tote the loan debt, buy now, pay later debt, but your country is too. See, leadership. Now, some people, that was Trump. No, it wasn't. It wasn't all Trump. Under Obama, under Biden, Clinton, Bush, Trumpski, all of them added to the national debt. Every president. Why? Because that's how we function in this country. I keep telling y'all that. The whole premise of this whole thing is debt. Guys, we only collect about $4 trillion a year in taxes, in tax revenue. And guess who that $4 trillion comes from? You and me. Some of the 1%, but not much, right? But you and me, common people like you and me, pay a lot into it. Let's be honest. Businesses pay into it too. Some of the 1%ers pay into it. But regardless, we collect about $4 trillion. We should be collecting more than that because we should be taxing the 1% more. But see, again, they run the country, so they're not going to be taxed like you and I are taxed, right? We know that. So we collect about $4 trillion a year. Problem is, we spend about $7 trillion on all kind of stupid stuff. Just look what's happening right now. FBI director, whoever this guy name is, Cash Money. Cash Money. That was his podcast name, Cash Money. That's your FBI director. This nigga named Cash Money. So this guy, I was reading and doing some research. They say this guy and the FBI spent about $1 million on outfitting BMW X5. You know those BMW X5 SUVs? They outfitted a whole fleet of them with armor, like bulletproof armor. No, they didn't go get the standard black Tahoe or one of them lesser expensive SUVs to retrofit. No. Not these guys. They went ahead and got them X5s, the nice premium high-end BMW SUV, and they put armor plate and all that stuff. Yeah, that's how they get around now. They're not in no little Chevy. They ain't in no Chevy or Tahoe. They don't do that no more. Or how about this? Upgraded the jet. Upgraded the jet. The jet that fly you around. Oh, upgraded all that. Same thing. Homeland Security, they upgraded their jets too. This is where your taxpayer dollars are going. This is where our taxpayer dollars are going. But now, that ain't just this administration. Go look at the Biden administration. Now, they wasn't as egregious, but they done some things too. But all presidents do. The one you got now is just not ashamed to tell you. He just come right out. So you know exactly what you're getting. Y'all knew exactly what y'all were voting for, and you got it. Right? So the only way you can maneuver this thing, in my opinion, is you got to figure out a way to build yourself some wealth and get from under the thumb of these folks, because attitude reflects leadership. Right? You wonder why things are happening the way they're happening in our country, and people are starting to get, kind of antsy and a little high strung, and people are, they really don't have no patience anymore, and people go from 0 to 100 real quick. Attitude reflects leadership. Any walk of life, guys. You go to someone's home and their kids are just acting crazy. Attitude reflects leadership. Look at the parents. I'm just saying, guys, you come to my home and you're like, whoa, this dude is, what is he doing? Attitude reflects leadership. This is the way it is. So if I want things to change in my life, guess what? I got to change the leadership. If you want things to change in your life, you better change the leadership to you. I'm not saying you got to get online and say bad things about people. You don't got to do that. And again, I ain't got nothing against the FBI director or Cash Money. I'm sure he's a qualified guy. At least he should be. I don't get too caught up in that. And I got nothing against him. Only thing I'm thinking is do you really need X5 BMWs, high-end SUVs to do what you need to do do you see what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with him. It's just, do you need that with taxpayer dollars? Just trying to show y'all that, listen, man, attitude reflects leadership when it comes to this debt thing. So 18 trillion in debt for the people, but the government, basically, America, the government, and again, it ain't just Trump, it's all presidents have contributed to this 38 trillion. All of them, Obama, Clinton, Bush, Biden, and Trump. All of them have contributed. Now, some have contributed more than others, but all of them increased to get to this 38 trillion. So how do we get out of it? We never will get out of it. I got to just break the bad news to you. This thing is going to continue to go up. Before you know it, it'll be 50 trillion. Why? Because we operate in this country in a deficit. Everything is built on debt. So what you got to do is try to figure out a way how not to build your life on debt. Unless it's good debt that actually puts money in your pocket. Like real estate debt. You buy a piece of real estate, you put a tenant in it. That tenant pays you rent, and that rental check pays the mortgage, it pays the expenses, and it puts money in your pocket. That's good debt. I start a business and I got to go get me a business loan, and I get me a $50,000 business loan, and I put that in my business, and in 5 years, my business is making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year. I pay back the loan. I put money in my pocket. I take care of my family. That's good debt. Oh, I'm going to go out and get me a brand new BMW. As soon as I drive it off the lot, it depreciates 20%. And within the next 2 years, it depreciates another 50%. Now, all of a sudden, I'm upside down in the thing. Bad debt. Bad debt. Oh, I really don't have enough money for Christmas this year, but I want to make sure I get everybody's a present because I want them to think highly of me. So I'm going to go use my credit cards, and I hope and cross my fingers next year I get a bonus, or I get some luck falls and hit me on top of the head and somebody knock on my door and give me a check. Bad debt. So get yourself out of that, guys. Prepare yourself for 2026. It's coming. Somebody is going to benefit from 2026. Why not you? But if you don't have your financial house in order, and the day is December 23rd, so you got a few days to sit down with yourself and with your family and have a real conversation about your spending habits. Have a real conversation about how you're utilizing your income. Have a real conversation about who your leader is. Some of y'all need to pick different leaders. Some of y'all need to pick different leaders. See, my leader is God. And then guess who number two? Me. I don't look to no man or no woman to lead me. My leader is God. And then I'm next in line. My counsel, when I'm having trouble with something and I'm going through something in my life, I don't go to man or woman. I go to God. And I have God direct me. Now, some of y'all don't believe in that, and that's okay. You better find something to believe in. You better find something to believe in, because these next 3 years are going to be hell on earth when it comes to your financial situation. It's not going to get better unless you make it better. So you better find new leadership because attitude reflects leadership. 18 trillion in debt. Guess why? Your leader is 18 trillion. Your leader is 38 trillion in debt. When I say leader, I'm talking about the national debt. So the people who are running our country, and like I said, let me just be clear. I'm not just talking about the current president. I'm talking about all these guys. All these people came before him have contributed to this. And now we got 38 trillion of it. We'll never pay it off. It never will be paid off, ever. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what they say on TV. It will never be paid off. Only thing gonna happen to it, it will continue to go up. By 2030, it'll be 50 trillion. In 4 years, it'll be over 50 trillion. You watch. You're gonna say, man, I was listening to a regular beard guy on YouTube and he was just giving his opinion, his First Amendment right, constitutional right, freedom of speech, and he was giving his opinion on what the national debt would be by 2030. I say it'd be excess of 50 trillion. I say the personal consumer debt be north of 22 trillion. Because most people will not pick new leadership. Most people will continue to follow who they follow now. Therefore, their attitude won't change towards their freedom. Financial freedom, that is. You better make a decision, or a decision will be made for you. You make the decision, or somebody will make it for you, guys. That's the key here. Attitude reflects leadership. Find you some new leadership. Or better yet, lead yourself. Go out and start doing your own research and critically thinking. Stop allowing other people to think for you. The 1% are the 1%. They're going to always control the majority of the wealth in this country, guys. They are. But that ain't just the 1% in our little bubble. Go back 10,000 years. They controlled it then. They're going to always control it, guys. That's just the way it is. But what we can do inside our own little bubble is we can figure out a way to try to control our own. See, I can't control everything that our government does. I can't control what other people do, but I can control what I do. That's where it starts. I've made a decision that there is no leader other than God and me. Those are the leaders. Now, if I got a woman in my life, which I do, we're together, which we are, we sit down, we talk about it. But at the end of the day, I make the decisions. Because I'm the leader of my household. And then God leads me. That's just how it's going to be. Right? But that's what you got to figure out. Who's going to lead you? Who's going to lead your family? Somebody going to lead it. If you're not going to be the leader, somebody going to lead it. Somebody going to lead it. If you don't want to step up and lead, somebody else will. And it'll probably be through this phone right here. This is where a lot of leadership takes place, through these phones. Most of y'all are led by people who y'all watch on these phones. Better check yourself before you wreck yourself. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like I said, man, get down to the description box and check out the Moo link. Up to $1,100 cash reward, NVIDIA stock shares. Check them out. Nice little Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. Make certain deposits. You get up to the $1,100 in cash reward, NVIDIA stock shares. Put $1,000 initially in your brokerage account, your new brokerage account. You got to open a new brokerage account with Moo. They give you $120 in cash reward. Make some additional deposits. You get the NVIDIA stock shares. Go check out the link, click on it, take you over to Moo, give you all the details. Millions of people use Moo, guys. So don't trick yourself. Treat yourself. Don't trick yourself, but treat yourself. Millions of people use Moo, including me. Go to YouTube search, type in Moo in YouTube search, and you'll see a lot of other influencers or creators. You'll also see them running ads on YouTube videos. So y'all know they've been vetted if they're, you know, and again, it's self-directed, so they don't give you no advice, nor do I. But what they do give you is a platform where you can actually do what? Be your own leader. See, they give you a platform where you can be your own leader. Or somebody else can lead for you. That's up to you. I got nothing to do with that. You make that decision. For me, I lead for me and my family. God's the only direction I need. I don't need no direction from man. God. And then boom, my leadership. Right? I'm gonna control my own destiny. I'm gonna control my own destiny. I'm not gonna let somebody else control it for me. Nobody else controls my destiny but me. Right? So get yourself down in the description box. Check out that Moo link. Second link, Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon. That's my community I started in 2024. Come rock with us. 2,000 people going in the same direction. No experts. Nobody trying to be experts. All we do in that community is exercise our First Amendment right, which is what? Constitution, which is what? Freedom of speech, which is what? Personal opinion about what we're doing to build our wealth. That's all we do in there. No experts. Don't need no experts. And guess what? We got 2,000 leaders in there. We got people who have made the decision that they're going to be leaders in their life, not followers, not sheep, but they're going to be leaders. We got 2,000 leaders in there. You certainly can join us and become a leader because we got leaders in there. Or not. Somebody going to lead you though, right? Second link. Click on it, take you over to Patreon, sign up, come join us, send me a DM, let me know you're walking with me, and let's go to work. 2026, like days away, man. It's days away. Then the last one, website, www.richardfain.net. Down there in the link somewhere, down there in the description box somewhere, third, fourth link, something like that. 10 big boy blue chip digital products that could collapse time frames, information-wise, research-wise, could collapse it for you, shorten the gap, give you direction, and boom, you can start being a leader in your own life again. See, a lot of people don't lead because they don't have the information. They don't know how to lead. They don't know what to lead. They don't know what leadership looks like. Website, www.richardfain.net, down in the description box. Check it out. Come join us. Check out the digital products. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. I know some of y'all, you know, some people can't take it, can't take the truth. Now, that's my truth. It's according to me, of course, my personal opinion, First Amendment right, constitutional right, freedom of speech. It's my opinion, but listen, guys, you better figure it out. This thing gonna get worse before it get better. It's just my opinion. Appreciate y'all for stopping by the channel, and if you're stopping by for the first time, please consider subscribing. Share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. See it in your mind, hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.